G'day folks, it's Rob here and welcome to our small little backyard farm and aquaponics YouTube channel. Today's clip is on the fish we've harvested from the aquaponics system, what they taste like and also how we've prepared them. Had a few folks ask over the last few years, so I thought I might knock together a bit of a clip just to give you a bit of a gander. Now, first of all, aquaponics is basically fresh water. I've seen on a lot of forums and also on group pages on Facebook, people claiming that freshwater fish, particularly from aquaponics, have a bit of a slight muddy or off flavour to them. I've seen people say it's because of anything from high nitrate in the system to an algae or a form of algae that floats around to an actual bacteria in the fish itself. So I'm not 100% sure as to if any of those are relevant with the off flavours that we've found in our fish, but they are, might be something for you folks to look into. Now, with our fish here, the first lot of jade perch we ran through and the second lot, both of those fish had a little bit of an off flavour to them, a bit of a, almost tastes like mud, a bit of a muddy flavour to them. It's not totally disgusting, it's just something there in the background of the flavour in the fish itself. So, not being a big fish eater myself, I don't particularly mind it. We tend to cook with a lot of herbs and spices anyway. Now, one thing that I have read, seen crop up quite a bit, is people recommending that you purge your fish. Generally what that means is you take the fish from the system about a week before you're going to harvest them, pop them in a freshwater tank where you're prepared to change the water regularly, just to stop any ammonia buildup. And then after about a week of not feeding them, you harvest them, and a lot of that flavour is supposed to disappear. About a week ago we harvested 22 silver perch from our system and we found no off flavours in those guys whatsoever. I think that could be due though to a semi-purging. For the last couple of weeks those fish in the system hadn't been fed at all due to a bit of a bacterial outbreak on some of the fish. As a bit of an upside, Bianca and I think that from now on what we might do is not feed the fish for a week before we plan to do a harvest, and we'll just see if that works next time round. Now, as to how we've prepared these fish, to begin with, the jade perch, we've prepared them in many different ways. To begin with, we tried frying them up on the barbecue and just in a pan, and also steaming them, and that's where we found they had that slight little bit of a off or muddy flavour to them. So we started to experiment with different spice and herb rubs, either from stuff we've grown here on the property or bits and pieces we've purchased. We've cooked them up whole, baked, a couple of slits of them, and then we've rubbed on a little bit of a curry paste that we've made up. That tastes absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed that. And also too, when you cook a whole fish, you tend to get a lot more meat from it than if you're just cutting off fillets. Another way that we've prepared it to try and get the girls more interested is fish nuggets. Now, fish nuggets are basically where we've filleted the fish and coated them in a little bit of a corn flour mix that also included some coriander and cumin powder. That gave it a nice little herby twist to it. Basically deep fry those little chunks in the wok, and yeah, Bob's your uncle, served up with a salad. Tastes absolutely fantastic. Kira's favourite way that we've prepared them so far is in fish cakes. Basically skinned fillet, throw it in the food processor with a few bits of breadcrumb. We tried to make some really pasty, held some back so we had some little fish chunks in there as well, and added in some leek and also some chili from the patch and a few other veggies, and yeah, they made up some awesome little fish cakes fried up. Like I said, they were Kira's favourite, so it's always a bit of a bonus to get her to eat fish. Fish curry was also a bit of a hit here. We used the jade perch for that one as well. It pretty much all absorbed all the flavours from the curry paste itself and the coconut cream when we added it in. Yeah, it did go down a treat. Everyone enjoyed that one. The silver perch we harvested last week, obviously we didn't have enough room for 22 fish in our freezer, so we took the heads off them all, gutted them and then scaled them, and they went into individual plastic bags, or two into a bag if they were smaller fish, and into the freezer. As for how we've prepared them, well, so far we've only had a couple. I took a bit of a leaf out of Danny's book from Brisbane Aquaponic Group. I've actually got a video of his system if you want to check it out. Danny basically cooks some of his jade perch up in a wrapped banana leaf, so I figured I'd have a crack at that as well. With ours, I did them a little bit differently. I've made a couple of slits into the fish itself, and into that I've rubbed in some of the ginger paste we have in the freezer and also some crushed garlic. Then I've sat it on top of a bed of sliced lime and dill from our garden, and then added some more dill and lime on top of that. Then Bianca and I have folded it over the banana leaf, added another one around the outside, and tied it with some twine we made from the central stem of the banana leaf itself. That fish then was placed into the oven and cooked at around about 180 degrees for about 45 minutes, I think, from memory. Once it was ready, we unwrapped the parcel, were basically able to pull off fillets from the frame itself, and we served it up with a green salad made from bits and pieces in the patch, including a couple of cucumbers and snake beans from the back stairs. So all in all, a fantastic meal. So we are mighty pleased with the way those silver perch tasted, and we have decided that we will be stocking them again. Just quickly, I would like to give a huge shout out and a huge thanks to all my supporters over on Patreon. I don't like to push it all the time on these videos, but I've got to give a shout out to these guys. They've been absolutely fantastic in the support they've shown the channel, and also to Bianca and myself and the girls as well. We regularly have hangouts with the third tier patrons. G'day folks. And yeah, I really would like to give a huge shout out to those guys. It's great having them come along, and you know, everyone gets together, has a bit of a natter about what they're doing in their garden or the aquaponics, asking questions not only of myself but of other people. Bo's been fantastic being able to help Nathan and myself out with a couple of questions on citrus. So huge shout out and thanks to those folks over on Patreon. If you want to check out Patreon, there's a little link up there you can click on, and you can hop on over and yeah, just see the sort of things I post over there. And yeah, you might be interested in supporting us. If you enjoy our clips, like to see you come along. I do hope you're all well and happy and your systems and gardens are booming, and I'll catch you next clip. Cheers folks.